For years, the internet has made nearly any content imaginable available instantly. Streaming now dominates entertainment, with virtually any film or show just a click away. But as platforms multiply and subscriptions pile up, piracy has quietly returned to the mainstream. Many have concluded that the modern streaming model is a ripoff, so millions are simply walking away. Even with rising prices and more ads, studios are bleeding billions because we're entering what could be another golden era for piracy. Yet piracy's resurgence is just one symptom of a bigger problem. The internet itself is slowly being hollowed out. The same greedy, short-sighted decisions destroying a streaming are corroding the wider web, and possibly the broader economy. And now, with governments imposing ID checks, pushing facial recognition, restricting adult content, and attempting to block VPNs, the path forward seems clear. Piracy is here to stay. But how did we reach this point? Let's start with streaming. It once felt like the future, but today's reality almost makes you miss the days before it existed. When Netflix first arrived, it was a breath of fresh air. For $8 a month, you got the entire Netflix library, no originals, but a vast mix of movies and shows pulled from every major studio. Most major titles were in one place. Then the studios split their catalogs apart, each launching its own service. Today, if you want mainstream coverage, you need Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, HBO Max, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, Apple TV Plus, and Peacock. That's over $100 per month, $1,236 a year for no real improvement in quality or convenience. You might get more content, but the value for money has collapsed. The dream of escaping expensive cable has ended with us paying even more. And it doesn't stop there. Want documentaries? Add Curiosity a stream for $5 a month. Anime? Crunchyroll's $8 monthly minimum. Even then, many plans still come with ads or charge extra to remove them. Amazon now bakes ads into Prime Video unless you pay $3 more, undermining the whole reason for subscribing in the first place. When ads arrived on Prime, 25% of young adult users quit entirely. Factor in music services, software subscriptions, and even car features locked behind paywalls, and it's easy to burn hundreds every month. Meanwhile, piracy, always the free alternative, is tempting more people to cancel. Millions have already jumped ship, and if things keep going this way, the exodus will only accelerate. To understand how we got here, you need to know how Hollywood changed. Decades ago, studios were run by a handful of executives who kept the profits. Now many don't even own themselves. They've been swallowed by private equity through a process called financialization. Take MGM in 2004. Once a giant with iconic IPs like James Bond, it had fallen into debt. Private equity saw a distressed asset ripe for a leveraged buyout, using borrowed billions to take control, loading the company with even more debt, stripping valuable assets, and selling off the rest. Sony joined the deal to grab MGM's licenses. MGM emerged with $3.7 billion more debt and its most valuable parts gone. Within years, it was gutted and passed between firms, each squeezing out the last profits before moving on. This playbook repeated across Hollywood. AMC, Univision, DreamWorks, Miramax, and major talent agencies like WME and IMG were bought out, often consolidating huge swaths of the industry under a few firms. Few people heard about it because Hollywood's own press, Variety, The Hollywood Reporter, Rolling Stone, was itself consolidated under Penske Media Group, also backed by private equity. Every time ownership changes, costs are slashed, staff are laid off, and quality drops. Writers, producers, and actors have seen double-digit pay cuts over the past decade. Studios now run on skeleton crews, making it impossible to produce high-quality series at the pace we once saw. Breaking Bad ran for 5 tightly written seasons from 2008 to 2013 before the buyout culture fully took hold. Today, hit shows limp along with years between seasons or collapse after 1 or 2. To cut costs further, studios pump out cheap reality TV. Passion and long-term planning are replaced by short-term profit grabs. The real battleground now is intellectual property, hoarding popular franchises to lock customers into one platform and shut out competitors. The numbers are brutal. Major streamers need about 200 million subscribers to stay viable. Netflix, Amazon, and Disney, counting Hulu, can manage it, but others are bleeding money. In 2023 alone, Paramount lost $1.6 billion on streaming, Comcast lost $2.7 billion, and Disney still dropped $2.6 billion despite its size. The private equity solution? Squeeze customers, raise prices, add ads, charge to remove them. It's digital shrinkflation. Less value, higher cost, which destroys goodwill. But unlike candy bars, where customers have no alternative, streaming users do. Piracy. Offer a bad, overpriced service and people will take the free option. This lesson has already been proven in gaming. Valve's Steam has dominated PC gaming for decades, despite piracy being...
Take on piracy.
Piracy to us, so we don't really worry about piracy. When we think, when you look at the top 10 issues on our list at any given point in time, piracy is almost never, something that's on that list. And the reason that we think that we don't have issues with piracy is that there's misconceptions in the industry about what piracy is, right?
Example, always online and now slated to be unplayable when servers close. A fan petition begged companies to at least allow private servers, but the industry fought back. Ironically, pirates had already solved the problem with a cracked version that works indefinitely. Again, the paying customer gets punished while pirates enjoy the best version. This expand and the squeeze cycle is everywhere. Uber undercut taxis with investor money, then hiked prices and cut driver pay once dominant. Spotify grew by exploiting piracy-era music, then sided with labels and investors to slash artist royalties and force premium upgrades on users. Now songs need 1,000 streams per year to earn anything, while ads choke free accounts. CEO Daniel Ek invests the profits in AI military tech. If Netflix had captured more of the market before studios splintered, we might have seen a similar deal with the devil. Instead, streaming is fractured and unstable. Zooming out, the same tactics have rotted the internet. Social media has been sanitized for advertisers, while content quality plummets. Try finding real info on a show release date. First, you'll get cookie pop-ups designed to make rejection hard, then anti-ad blocker walls, then thin SEO-stuffed articles rushed out by underpaid staff or AI bots. As automation floods the web, genuine human content gets harder to find, making the dead internet theory more, and the corporate system could implode under its own greed. Other industries aren't so lucky. You can't pirate a car, though BMW's plan to charge £10 a month for heated seats was a perfect example of the same corporate mindset. If you could download one